live? I can't tell from here. Give me 1 second, guys, if I am. Okay. It looks like I am live. Cool. All right, guys. Let me just show you as what I've been doing. Again, this is part 4 in my final part of my Batman Year One review. I'm going to look through a little of the... I tried this earlier, guys, and I couldn't go on live on X. There was something going on. I don't know what the hell was happening. It looks like I am live now, which is good. Let me see 1 second. Is it here as well or not really? I guess it is. Yes, I'm sorry. Okay, cool. I hope that's off there. Okay. All right, guys. So here we go. Batman Year One Artist Edition by Dave Mazzucchelli. That's the back, and I want to show you a little of part 4 here. Wait, look at this though. The back. Look at that. Look how big it is. It's amazing. And there's also this as well. That incredible shot where he says, "You have eaten well. You have eaten Gotham's wealth, his spirit. From this day forward, none of you are safe." What a shot. So let me go through issue 4 a little, just to show this. Here's the cover. Right there, if I can see. I think, yeah, it's so big, unwieldy. Here's the splash page. And I'll show a few more here and there. Some great work there. Look again, nice balance of black and white. Very, very nice. Look at this. Look at the gestures, the movement, the just a simple drawing and cartooning. A lot going on there on that one panel. That's really, really good. Something here also. This page right here is a number of things going on, like 4 or 5 different things here on this one right here. Different scenes, different moments. You can tell a lot without any dialogue of what's going on, what's being said. He's that damn good, Mazzucchelli. Egon the Dragoncock. How's it going, man? He writes, Year One Artist Edition has been my favorite so far. Mine too. I mean, it's so damn beautiful. It's that damn good. And they really took their time with it. They took a lot of care with it. And you could tell, I think Mazzucchelli had something to do with it clearly as well. Even though the idiots at IDW, who I think hosted it, sent the signed, the special copies to random customers instead of Mazzucchelli because they're stupid. And the guy in charge of it, Scott Dunbier, is a hardcore leftist whore. And I was following him in order to get updates on Batman Year One, and he just came out and just was completely in a rage about Trump and everything going on. So I had to unfollow him. He's a fucking idiot because he clearly had made people probably think twice about getting this, but to hell with him. He doesn't matter in the end. It's about the quality of the work. He's such a fat pig commie, Anyway, hey, Matt Goldplush. Always loved that house ad picture. Yeah, the first image you showed, slightly longer ears, not too much, slightly curved demonic. Yeah, definitely slightly curved inward, right. It's such a great shot, man. And the weight of the cape, you can feel it. It wraps around his body and just drops. So good. Egon Dragoncock said, IDW is a trash company. Absolutely. The guy's a piece of shit. Scott Dunbier. Absolute scumbag commie. All right, guys. Let me go start this review, and we'll get going. So this is Miller. He's out to clean up a city that likes being dirty. Great line. Evening, Flatey. He's out to clean up a city that likes being dirty. He can't do it alone. Chapter 4, Friend in Need. Friend in Need. It's interesting here with Mazkelli. He kicked himself a little for making Daredevil's head a little too small in his Daredevil run, right? Uh, maybe. I don't think anyone noticed it as much as he did, and also, but it made him look a little taller. In contrast, he makes Batman look a little shorter than he ought to by trying to make his head a little more proportionate, and therefore his body looks a little stunted at times. At times, it doesn't look as large as he should. Here, it doesn't look like he's 6'2" or 6'3". He looks smaller than that. Shorter legs and so on. But it's still, gorgeous. So I'm trying not to nitpick here, but I just noticed that here and in a few different areas. But let's keep going. Okay. Hope you guys can see this clearly. Let me look how it looks on here. Okay. I can open it up a little. Okay. All right, guys. So here we go. Okay. So this is Gordon, who's been cheating on his wife, who's pregnant with a baby, with his good-looking employee, Sergeant Sarah Essen. It just tells you the man lacks integrity. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that he was somewhat corrupt in Chicago in some capacity. And let's say he's venal. He's easily corrupted. Let's just say that. Even though he's trying to be a good cop, and he has been a good cop, he just fell in his personal life, and he's making his wife suffer and his mistress suffer, and himself, like an idiot. But that's what cheaters do. They destroy lives and think that they can go for that hit, that emotional hit, and that's that. He goes, "It's the right thing to do. It's the only thing to do." Sarah says, "You should take the bracelet. I'm sure your wife would like it." "No, please, Sarah, keep it." "Damn it, Jim, you're right, of course. I just want to know. If your wife weren't pregnant, would you—" "I'm sorry, it wasn't fair. Damn it, Jim." Yeah, damn it, all right. Hero cop, and that's the way he's been referred to in the last few issues. Hero cop. He's been a great cop. He's been a great, and again, in terms of slobs in their personal life, John O'Neill, the FBI agent who was hunting down Osama bin Laden for years, for like at least a decade and a half, was a slob. He had 5 or 6 different women across the country, including his wife and stuff, and they all found out at the funeral. It didn't stop him from being a great agent. It doesn't stop Gordon from being a great, cop, and that's why also that slob, what's his name, Pete Hegseth. He's a whore. Cheated on every wife he was with. Even cheated months into his wife. I think his wife was pregnant. Banged this whore in a hotel at a conference. Just no conscience, really. No self-control, no self-worth. Doesn't stop him from being a great soldier or this leader. So I'm not even going to the point where over-moralizing and saying, "Oh, he can't be a good cop." Of course he can, and he has been, and then John O'Neill has been, Pete Hegseth has been. It's just it does tell you something about there's something dirty about it, and we can't easily just look that over. That doesn't mean anything. It does mean something. It really should, at least. Someone to have integrity has to have integrity, personal life, public life, on all levels. Doesn't mean, as I said, they can't achieve in certain things. You could be a great athlete and be a fucking slob on the side. Anyway, that's what this sparked right here. But besides that, guys, look at his art. Edward Hopper, the painter. This is his little homage to that. The closest I got to homages was the opening of Pigman. There's a hotel, the Grand Hotel, and Super Jihad as Muhammad before Super Jihad is in front of it, and he's blocking out the G, so it's Rand Hotel, Ayn Rand. There's also Toth Cafe, Alex Toth. So, we tend to do that with some of our favorites. And here's Mazkelli paying homage to that. It's awesome. And again, it's such a beautiful balance of black and white. Such a beautiful balance. It's like, that's where an artist really has figured out their style, the composition, the value of having black and white, because this could look beautiful in black and white, and that's why, as Egon says, it's one of the finest artist edition, because you can look at this. It doesn't need the color. It stands on its own in pure black and white. Whereas other comics, you absolutely do need the color. Dark Knight Returns, without Lynn Varley, it's not the same. I know that they've got a noir edition. Not really. It never appealed to me. It's just not that kind of book now. If they have a noir edition of Batman Year One, I will absolutely get that. I just haven't seen it. If you guys know of it, please let me know, and I will definitely order it. But yeah, look at the thickness of the line work even here on Esson's hair. It's really, really strong, really strong. Beautiful. And again, the hands, the beauty of the line work is just so damn good. So damn good. A Man Called Plush, that's wild. Been looking into Ayn Rand and Jung lately. Hey, man. Great stuff. Great stuff. I got this thing right here. Let's see if you can see it. Take a look at that. It's one of the best quotes I think I've seen, hands down. Check it out, guys. Check it out. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Brilliant, concise, powerful, excellent, absolutely excellent. And he was also good on Islam. Check it out, Plush. He was very good. He has some choice words, let's just say, to say about that, war religion. But yeah, if you're gonna read Rand, if you're gonna get into her, Plush and others, I would recommend, if you haven't yet, The Fountainhead first and foremost. Fountainhead first, and then Atlas Shrugged, and then We the Living, I think, later. And then, the early Ayn Rand, her early fiction, then her nonfiction, from the Romantic Manifesto, The Virtue of Selfishness, and so on. Capitalism, the Unknown Ideal. Great stuff, guys. And those books are meant to be reread. You always, they say you get more out of them, and I think you bring your wisdom with time to the second, third, fourth, fifth readings, and you think that there's more there, and yeah, look, everything's there, but we recognize them later on in certain ways. Hey, David, good evening to you as well. Doing well. Absolutely, man. Appreciate it. Glad to be here, and I'm glad you guys are here as well. I had this little problem though with am I on? It doesn't say that I'm live here. Usually it lets me know here, and I can't even end it. This is very, very weird, guys. I guess I am live, but there's no place that I can end the stream. I'm gonna have to do it in an alternate way here. What the hell? Very, very, very strange. Very strange. It's the first time I've ever seen it. There's no button that I can turn off, but I'm gonna have to find a way to just do that with the actual icon of the platform I'm using. Strange, but I guess I am here. I just can't tell how many eyeballs are here, and usually more details like that. So that's unfortunate. But thanks, Bearden, guys. Appreciate it. 1 second. It really is strange. I can't see anything. I'm blind here. Fucking strange. Anyway, here we go. Back to the story at hand. Batman Year One by Frank Miller and Dave Mazzucchelli. Both masters. Miller's a master of writing. Mazzucchelli's a master of drawing. And he's become a full-blown master cartoonist as well. Full-blown. He's a writer now, and I hope to see a lot more from him coming. A lot more. All right, guys. So he's been referred to as a hero cop, Gordon, in the last few issues. So hero cop Lieutenant James Gordon today apprehended. This is a news. I think you guys can see my arrow. I hope you can. Apprehended notorious narcotics dealer Jefferson Skeevers. What a name, Skeevers. It looks like Gordon's out to set a record, right, Tom? It sure does, Trish. He's caught a big fish. A big fish this time. If Skeevers is convicted, this will be the fourth time he goes to prison. Bet they throw away the key. So here we are in this beautiful shot, establishing shot. And again, they were supposed to break up. He's cheating on his wife, and they're not breaking up. They work together, so the temptations there are going to always be there unless she leaves. And he has a picture of his wife there, and he has a baby, a newborn baby also. He's a piece of shit in his personal life, but he's a great cop. Anyway, check it out. Great drawing. Everything about this is just dead on right. Everything looks authentic panel. A lot of care taken here. All these little objects, papers on the floor. I guess, they were looking through some files and dropped them and kissed. Her arms are strong. Her whole body's strong. It's late. We both worked late again. I never get tired around her. She's requested a transfer. She's leaving Gotham City. Good. I'm in love with her. It's the only thing to do. Right. Yeah, well, the only thing was to do was not to cheat on your wife and destroy your family. But anyway, Judge Rafferty set bail for Jefferson Skeevers. Surprisingly, Assistant District Attorneys Harvey Dent did not argue with this decision. It's interesting about that. There's a reason why. And here's Gordon. It's a great drawn, great front lighting, and therefore the back shadow. Look at that. Little chunks of ink. It's beautiful. So damn good. And plus his posture, the gesture with the silhouetted hand. Every little thing here. It's raining outside. Gordon is pissed, and he goes, I know you aren't on the take, and I don't think you're crazy. Well, yeah, he is. You just push him enough. So tell me why you let Skeevers out on the street, Dent. I understand how you feel, Lieutenant. He's all smiling. He goes, would you like to borrow my umbrella? And then he got Batman climbing a building with nothing else except his fingers. September 11th. What a date. No, none of that. You stay clean until we've gotten you off. This is what's called Skeevers and his lawyer. Don't sweat it, babe. Just a couple of lines. Dent and Gordon are hot for you, Skeevers. They'd love to catch you with your pants down. Catch me? They caught me, babe. And they let me go. And you got me a court order tying Gordon's hands. Shit. And I love the fact that Miller and Mazzucchelli going all the way, showing this hood rat for what he is and not being afraid of drawing him that way. That's what he is. He's a piece of shit from the hood. Who's a drug dealer and a killer. You guys can let me know if you're here, just out of curiosity, because again, this is the first time I ever saw this where I'm blind about whether I'm here or not. It's very, very strange. And again, I'm going to have to go to a little extreme here to knock it off when I'm done. But you guys tell me. Thanks, man. Okay. Interesting choice of colors here by Richmond Lewis, Dave Mazzucchelli's wife. This is her recolor. And the cold colors, very cold. And garish as well. And it's fitting. Definitely fitting. Look at what Mazzucchelli does for this guy's apartment. Look at it. A statue there, a woman holding him there. Looks like Conan style. A devil mask. A lot of cheese there. Look at this. Yeah, look at those bug eyes. David L. Bosch, are you going on Ballers tonight? It's on Shane Davis' channel. I went on there once. I don't want to push my, if I'm invited, yeah. I just want 10 listed as watching. I usually get a few hundred, man. I don't, both on X and on YouTube. It's very strange, man. What the hell's going on here, guys? I don't know, man. There's 150 views on X. On X. I don't know, guys. But thanks, lady. Not sure, David. I enjoy doing my own streams, and I enjoy going on. Like I was with John Malin the other day, Tuesday, reviewing Secret Wars, and that was fun. That was great. And you need to be a member for that, and you guys should become members for that. It was about 2 hours breaking down issues 1 to 6 in 2 weeks on the 8th. I think it'll be on the 8th, April 8th. It'll be the second part, issue 7 to 12. Check it out, man. It was fun. Here we go, guys. So here's Skeevers with his lawyer. I mean, I'd be sweating, babe, if it wasn't for our cop. They nail me and I talk about Flash, and maybe Flash talks about Commissioner Loeb. You say one word about Flash and they'll kill both of us, Skeevers. It's unbelievable. These are criminals. The cops are criminals. She's a criminal. She's a criminal lawyer with emphasis on criminal, on the criminal. Now take that thing out of your nose and listen to me. All good, David. Yeah, I just, it depends. I mean, plus Ballers is their, I think is their show. It really is. They have a fun time, and it's not really my thing, per se. Not that I can't have fun. I could definitely have fun, but just I think that's their show. They establish it as such. If they got Pimp My Comic, if they do that, maybe I will consider that. And also, do you guys remember years ago? I'm talking 20 years ago. Comics Pimp from California. Remember him? Comic book resources, Newsrama, one of those, where he would pimp out your comics. So I sent him a little email about Table for One, my first book, and he posted it, talked it up, was very excited about it, and loved. He called my letter the perfect letter because I went right to the point. I didn't mess around. I said what it was about. This and that. I showed him a little preview, and that was fun. That was very, very fun. I don't know what happened to him, but the Comics Pimp. I think that's what it was. Anyway, so Skeevers is blowing shit up his nose. Just a couple of lines. She goes, where do I start? Bad enough that you're black. I mean, that's hilarious, man. It's great writing by Miller Olson as a lawyer. Bad enough that you're black. I want you in a blue suit at the inquest with a tie. Make it black. Same for the shoes. None of that pimp stuff. And when you smile at the jury, make it nice, particularly the women. I smiled at them, okay. And he's like, great shot, man. Look at that. Mazzucchelli killing it right there. And dreadlocks and all. She says, just remember they've still got their clothes on. Click. Again, even this, guys, okay? Even that. Every line matters, and this is all hand inked with no ruler. You could tell it adds character to it. If you guys are artists out there, keep that in mind. Establish the stuff clearly in the pencils with a ruler and stuff and buildings. You want it to be straight. You don't want it to be wobbly. But when it comes to the inking there, it's good to just try to, ink those lines with a pen, and you'll be more or less aligned with what you established in a pencil stage, but it gives a little more organic quality, a little more beautiful little touch, like this door right here. Let me pull it up here. Yeah. Do you see, you guys? You know what I mean? Look at that. What's going on here? Okay. This is weird, man. A few weird things are going on here. What the hell? Okay. Just here, guys, look. Those lines are clearly hand inked. Everything here. It's awesome. Beautiful. I love those type of things. What the hell? Damn it, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. So here's the next page. Let me go here. So Batman cuts that glass. Clang. Close the window. That's a really nice color there also. Picking up the purple lights from the inside and then blending into his skin color there. Very nice. With that red background, blotchy red background. You hear a scratch. What the hell? Skeevers, you all right? I'm fine. Batman's like, fucker, you better keep your shit quiet. She goes, better lay off the coke. Bad on the nerves. It's very nice. To me, it's like Jaime Hernandez right here. These few panels right here. Beautiful line work. Simple as hell. Great shadow. It's awesome. All right, guys. So here's Skeevers with Batman. Okay. And Batman's like, you can never escape me. Bullets don't harm me. Nothing harms me. But I know pain. I know pain. And look at that. That's an awesome drawing right there. Every line counts. Every line tells. So damn good. And he goes, I know pain. Sometimes I share it with someone like you. And from that, Skeevers is at the police department. Want to talk to Dent. Cop a plea. Want to talk about Flass. None of that ghetto shit there. He's just talking straight as he possibly can. And he's trying to be a little discreet here. The trench coat and the hat. So, again, guys, look at the organic nature of this shot right here. From everything here, from Skeevers to Merkel to Gordon to Flass. Look at this. Want to talk to Dent, cop a plea, want to talk about Flass. Merkel's right out the door. He goes, Merkel, get Dent. Just forget to tell the commissioner. He goes, I'm gone. And from there, look at Flass being inundated by the media. Sources inside the police department revealed that Gotham police detective Arnold Flass, I forgot his name was Arnold, has been implicated in Skeevers' drug operation. We saw Flass with Skeevers in the opening, if you guys remember, during that drug deal that they were having. Remember that, guys? Yep. So, pretty wild. And then I think it's Gillian, because they call him Gil. I guess so. The police commissioner. And so it's just September 13th. Nearing the end here. This is the final issue, so a few months ago. And here's Commissioner Loeb with Brandon, the terrorist. He goes, Detective Flass is a friend of mine, Gordon. You might have at least informed me of your plans before handing his head to Internal Affairs. And Gordon's like, it was a slip, sir. Everybody's working such long hours. It's friendship, Gordon. Loyalty. These words still count for something in Gotham City. We took you in. Yes, we did. Blemishes and all. And you do have your blemishes. And you go and, he goes, I've done exactly what I promised, Commissioner. You get my best work. You get good press. I'll give you that. They like you, don't they? Aggie and his pack at the Gazette. But they don't know you. No, they don't. Not the way we do. Not the way we know you. Terrible if they or your wife learned of the special nature of your relationship with Sergeant Essen. Walls have ears, Jimmy. See, that piece of shit, he fucked himself and his wife and even Essen by being, a lowlife. And now he endangers them. And you'll see what happens later. Those things probably wouldn't have happened if he didn't do what he did. They would have found other ways, who knows, but this is now personal. And look at the color that Richmond Lewis gave. From his hand to his face, a complete different color with red instead of the white of the eyes. It's very effective. She did that here as well with Skeevers when he was on the ground. You see that? Blood red eyes. And then Gordon has pink. And with the white in the eye, you see, you see that red right there. Very, very effective. And these guys are gloating like, we got you, man. You suck, man. You think you're better than us? You're a piece of shit. And they're right, in one level at least. I can't move forward. I can't move forward here. Okay. Tonight's full of fucking glitches, guys. I don't know what the hell's going on from X to YouTube to this goddamn platform I'm using. Anyway, here we go. We are in Wayne Manor, and another great establishing shot by Mazzucchelli. Everything is rock solid, beautifully drawn, just right. Awesome. Look at the furniture. It's very fitting for, a rich guy. Ostentatious. And Gordon's pregnant wife, who he's cheating on, looks very, plain compared to this home and the bimbo that Bruce Wayne is supposedly with. So Commissioner Loeb, this is the news. Commissioner Loeb assures Gotham that the manhunt for the Batman continues with hero cop James Gordon on the case. Now, is that the media's way of mocking Gordon by calling him a hero cop? It's possible. No doubt that the media is owned by some of these gangsters. So this is Gordon again, his narration. The butler makes us feel as welcome as a virus. Yeah, man called Plush. Very, very cool. Very cool. So Gordon says the butler makes us feel as I just want to get to that point before I mention it. Plush. The butler makes us feel as welcome as a virus. He leads us through a few dozen rooms the size of small estates to Wayne's study. Wayne's been out of the country. Wayne's had the flu. This morning I was told he had a hangover, but he'd see me. Better than having Barbara stay at home and worry about being so overdue. She's overdue with the baby. Alfred says, Police Lieutenant and Mrs. Gordon, sir. Mrs. Gordon, I'm charmed. Alfred, be a joy and get some glasses for our guests. And another bottle. This one's evaporated. A little early in the day for us, thanks, Gordon says. Mr. Wayne, I don't want to waste your time. My time is worthless, Lieutenant. Just ask Alfred. He's like, It's funny. So Wayne's playing this punk playboy. And he goes, I've been following your exploits, Lieutenant, and I must say that I'm impressed. You're getting as much press as Batman. It is Batman you want to talk about, isn't it? Something about my being him? Excuse me, it must be the champagne. I neglected to introduce my friend. You see, I'm not sure her name. She doesn't speak any language I know. And Barbara's like, I think it's Barbara's her name. That must be convenient, Barbara. I love that. That must be convenient, Barbara. Mr. Wayne, I need to know where you were on the following dates. He laughs and rings for his butler. His butler brings his date book. I could auction off the phone numbers in his date book for a fortune. Every chick. Hollywood. They're all women. They're all famous. They're all beautiful. He's a pig, Jim, Barbara says. He goes, he's acting like one, that's for sure. But any man who'd wear a cape, and it's a cape, not wings, I've seen it. Anybody who'd wear a cape and hunt criminals might go pretty far to keep his secrets. Secrets. Damn it all. Jim, why are you stopping? Honey, there's something we have to talk about. Yeah. And Bruce Wayne's at the window looking. He goes, 10 minutes he's been there. Now he's moving. Good. Alfred, how'd you like my performance? Positively vaudevillain, sir. I gather the remaining bottle of club soda may be left in a proper container. I suppose you'll take up flying next, like that fellow in Metropolis. And Bruce is like, maybe I will. And again, these little drawings here. And this one in particular, Toth did Torpedo 1936. And there's an image almost exactly like this, with a car with those exact type of bushes. So he was clearly looking at Toth's work for a bit. Because, again, this looks like Toth would even have inked this. That's what kind of the finish is. The art whatever. It's all masculine, but I'm talking about the finish. It looks like he actually did take those creepy issues, eerie issues, the ones that Toth was inking, and took that to heart and just implemented it into his own inking for this particular story, at least. And again, look at what Richmond Lewis is doing here with the color. You know, adding that wasn't in the original. She just added an entire, incredibly detailed carpet. It's very, very nice. It doesn't. It should have went here as well, but what are you gonna do? It would have been nice if they just took that and just manipulated it within Photoshop or whatever they could to stretch it out there, but that's fine. And then look at this. Look at the drawing here, guys. Look at the line work. Look at Flass and his lawyer in the hand. It's really, really good. Everything underneath is in pure shadow and silhouette. Lights up on top. Hill, Headless Bourgeois. Back Pigman, indeed. Thanks, man. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna pitch it. I got 248 backers. I'm about to crack 250. I'm about to crack 16,000 as well, guys. If you could, if you're interested in being that, the guy who cracks 250 and 16,000, please, thank you very much. I will get to it right after this, and then we'll just chat a little. If you guys are free, we'll just chat. And again, I got this strange blind spot here. I don't know how many. It says here 200 people are looking at it on X. It says on YouTube. Let's see. But I'm blind to it. I don't know what the hell's going on. I just don't know. It says only 12 on YouTube. That sucks. I got 1,000 something followers, 1,700 followers. At least it could be a little more. All right, guys. So here's Dent and Gordon grilling piece of shit Flass. So here's Dent. Skeevers told us where, when, and how much money you've received, Flass, and you've been spending a lot more than you're earning. You're facing 10 years in prison, Flass, Gordon says, and Flass says, that's if Skeevers is alive enough to testify. The lawyer says, my client didn't mean that. Well, it's the arrogance. It's like what the left is doing now. They lost their asses. They got wrecked in the last election, and they're acting as if they didn't. They're acting as if the country is not happy with what Trump's doing, and they want them back. It's preposterous, but that's the way these scumbags act. This page I pointed out in the original art thing, and I'm gonna really just talk about this quick here, guys. Look at the composition. Look at every panel. There's 4 different scenes here, 5 different actually, 5 different places, different areas, different characters, everything, and they're all done impeccably. October 5th. This is Barbara, who looks absolutely out of it. She has found out that her husband has betrayed her, cheating while she's pregnant with their baby, who's late and heartbroken and hurting. And you could tell she hasn't slept. Eye bags. It's a beautiful drawing. It's just beautiful. It conveys so much. And the dry hair. She took no time to look glamorous at all. No makeup, no nothing. She's hurt. And that shot there of Gordon looking in the background, distant from her. So she got a phone call from people who were telling her that Gordon's cheating on her. She goes, yes, sir. I know about Sergeant Essen. Please don't bother me again. Yeah. That's October 5th and October 7th. The right to Skeevers in the hospital. Somebody slips rat poison into Skeevers' food. Marco gets his stomach pumped in time. I guess he's at the police station. Yeah, I guess protection. Right. And then you got Gordon, and you have, it's so interesting. I like the way Miller wrote Harvey Dent here. He's just a good guy, kicking ass. What could have been, and then you got him there, and he's smirking again, and it's October 10th, and Gordon says Skeevers is still going to testify against Flass. Doesn't care that his attorney quit. Whatever he's scared of, what's so funny, Dent? Well, the baby's come. Lieutenant Gordon, it's a boy. Your wife is fine. Great shot, guys. Look at this entire scene. unshaven, you know, smoking, looking up that way. Great color there too, guys. Perfect because that's the way it will be light in the center with the bulb, and then the side a little shadow there. Just beautiful, beautiful composition, everything about it. And then you got the news. Fourth in a daring series of cat burglaries. Commissioner Loeb's private collection of pop memorabilia is valued at $40,000. That's hilarious. Look at this. Catwoman stole all of that chump's toys. That's fucking hilarious. 40,000, sure. So where am I supposed to sell it? I thought he'd have jewels or paintings. Not now, Otto. Otto's always looking for trouble. Her cat, so she rips off the Charlie Brown's head to see if there's anything in there, or maybe just pissed off at it. Comic books includes, hey man, excellent storytelling in that art. So good, so damn good. It's just so beautiful, so well done. There's a master here, guys, a master. Very different than Daryl Born Again, and still great. It's just different. That's all. The color also, just couldn't be finer. Really beautiful. Look at that. A little green in there, a little pink, a little purple, blue mostly. So there's Holly. This one doesn't even work. About one of the toys. Loeb was quick to charge the Batman with the crime. Yeah, Batman would go in there and steal his toys, sure. That's what he's known for. Batman. They're giving the credit to Batman, Aces. Selina, you don't want them to know it was you. So she throws Charlie Brown's head at the TV. And the news is saying, leaving Gotham to wonder if the Batman, a vigilante, a thief, the Batman is, sorry, to wonder is the Batman a vigilante, a thief, a Robin Hood? In other news, Detective Arnold Flass faces indictment tomorrow on those drug charges. And there's Selina. It's a great little stance there by her. Cute. I hear the Romans got a fortune in old stuff. Someone told me that the Roman is Carmine Falcone. I didn't know that, so thanks, man. I hear the Romans got a fortune in old stuff. Maybe I'll give him a scratch or two before I steal it. Won't think it's Batman if I give him a scratch. Where did I put that damn costume? So here's a toy that Holly said wasn't working. Click, and I want to be a friend to you. I fixed this, Lena. Come along now and join the party. Is that Casper the Friendly Ghost? It might be. Selina, I fixed it. Scratch him on the face just once. He could use it. Simple little thing here, guys. The lights up on top, and therefore underneath the fingers next to the knuckles, it's all in shadow. Just nicely done to show a little form. It's just really effective. Even like this, you got a light there and then a shadow there, but not as strong as there. Industry experts were stunned by the demonstration of unheard of possibilities for lightweight, durable plastics. Wayne Chemicals, lightweight, durable plastics. Here we go. Alfred said, maybe take up flying next. He's like, maybe I will. So here he goes. His first shot out in the sky. That's awesome. And then here's Falcone with his nephew. Johnny, little Johnny, you're a man now, a strong man. And how is my sister, my beautiful, faithful sister? Look at this. Look at that place, my God. All the columns that are completely unnecessary. Look how many columns it has around there. Mother as well, sir. She sends her deepest devotion. She prays for your continued success. I fear I need her prayers, Johnny. I need her son. And you have shown that you are brave as Horatius, Johnny. Have I told you of Horatius? One man on a narrow bridge holding the line against hundreds until it has thrilled me every time, sir. I am, of course, yours. Look at his chubby nephew with that bad Dr. Octopus haircut. Yeah. Comic Books and Coach says it's almost like Eisner's spirit in its efficiencies in the sequential art. Eisner was a master as well, man. That's so good. it's so funny with Eisner. He was such a great storyteller, such a great, on every level, everything. It's just that the finished work wasn't as great as Mazzelli or or Toth, but it didn't matter. It was still great. It's like Kirby, he's rough, but it's still incredible. The man called Plush says, always so odd how the 40s Batman's cape looked glider like, but didn't have said function in comics until post Nolan trilogy. A whole other hang glider is kind of hilariously excessive. I guess, what, in the comics, that after the Dark Knight, when he had that thing where he popped over into China, even though this was 20 years prior to that, more 22 years, I believe, um, 21 years. And then also Batman Returns. Remember the building, the Christmas holiday thing where it came from his inside of his cape. That wasn't something that he added to it. It came from inside his cape, and it looked cool. But again, worthless again because Tim Burton is all about visuals. Story, visuals. Like that one time, guys. Remember how stupid it was? Batman. People are dying in Gotham at the parade. Joker's killing them, right? Gassing them. Batman is taking his Batwing, which looked cool as hell. It looked like the bat symbol. He's taking it to fly up into the sky as far and high as he can to pose it in front of the moon so it looks like the bat signal. You're like, whoa, that's cool. But people are dying, Bruce. Batman, they're dying down there. What the fuck are you doing up there? That works for a cover. That works for a commercial. That doesn't work in a movie in the context that they're in. That's just stupid shit right there. That's Tim Burton for you. Batman's like, yeah, I know people are dying, but wouldn't it be cool if I get this shot? Because I'm in a movie, and oh yeah, I got it. Look, perfect. And then go back down. It's retarded. He's not known for his story ability, for his storytelling. He's such an idiot. And yeah, he's made some good movies, some fun movies, at least visually. But man, that was so retarded. Um, anyway, so here we go with Roman and his nephew. His nephew says, Mother has said that there are several men who are plaguing you, sir. I need only be told their names. Your mother is wise in her way. You see, Johnny, there are too many people in the world who ask questions and far, far too many who give answers. Mother said, whap! We must avoid more bad publicity, Johnny. Listen to me. I will tell you what must be done. I don't know if that's how he gets his attention there. This guy's going to start hating him. It's not well, they're thugs and idiots. So over there, it's a whoop. Over here, my face, it's a woman. What's going on out? Let go of me, you idiot. How'd she get up here? Who the hell claws my face? Another repetitive shot here, which is so damn good. I love it. Same shot there, just different time. Batman, you work for the Batman. I want her alive, in pain. Oh God, somebody help me. How'd she get up here? Johnny, snack. The knife. You don't have a chance. Johnny, thunk. What the? A small batarang. Batman, it's my God, it's where? Thunk, thunk. Wasting my time, Batman says. He's right there. My face. My face. This is a very, very cute drawing. It looks like Michelle Pfeiffer almost right there. Very cute. This is a few years before the 5 years at least before the Batman Returns. But that's very, very cute, man. Look at that. She goes over there, does her work on Roman's face. Comic Books and Who says Tim Burton's Batman is all style with no gravity and unable to have serious stakes. Yeah. Yep. A man called Plush, good old mobster chatter. Haha, Falcone and his nephew. Yeah, it's great. It's fun stuff. And they're dressed with their towels. They just went to the sauna. November 3rd. Master Bruce, I've just come across a fascinating piece in the Times. Concerns the effects of lack of sleep among the marginally sane. Quiet, Alfred. Your mother is wise in her way. So he's listening to. Okay, he recorded the conversation between Falcone and his nephew. Because if only that woman hadn't been there, the Roman was about to tell his nephew, "Whap! We must avoid more bad publicity." And Alfred says, what he's reading, marked increase in paranoia. It's hilarious. Uh, good. That's a good shot of Wayne to show how, again, we don't get to see Wayne built, because we see him with that thick suit that covers up a lot of the definition. But here you get to see him far more cut than any part of the book so far. So that's pretty cool. You get to see that he actually is muscular. He's not just thick. A little of that here also in the definition. So here we go. Bruce says, I should have crippled the Roman's nephew. Would have bought us time. No, he'd have just gotten somebody else. At least I know who he's using. Or he's putting rewind. Avoid more bad publicity. Click. And Alfred's going on. He goes, tendency toward aberrant, even violent behavior. Keeps going. And Bruce is on his own mission. They're both talking apart from each other. He doesn't want bad publicity. It follows that he won't murder anyone. That leaves blackmail or off against her. Shall I fetch your tights? Never during the day, Alfred. The same. There was a similar thing between. It was in a trailer for Dark Knight, where I think Michael Caine says something along the same lines of that, and Bruce Wayne says never in the daytime. It could have been in a movie. I'm just not 100% sure. Yeah, the sass of Alfred's legendary plush says. So funny. He did it a lot more in the Dark Knight Returns, and it was generally funny stuff. You gotta make it funny. You can't just make it. It's like Spider-Man when he roasts the bad guys as he's scared and trying to fight them. It's got to be funny. The Stan Lee things were funny. The Roger Stern stuff was funny. Some writers, they don't have it in them. When you roast them, it should be funny. Okay, so Catwoman's there. Selina Kyle listened to the news. Last night's incident connects the Batman with the recent cat burglaries. A woman with claws, presumably Batman's assistant, is said to have assistant. Now I'm his assistant? I have to do something really nasty next time. Think about the motivation here. Batman's just doing his thing to do his thing, and she wants to be out there and just find something different and not be a whore anymore and so on. And she's like, damn, I got to do something. She's a criminal, but, she also just wants to get out there and hurt the bad guys too, though, in her own way. She's not going after these rich good guys. She's going after the scumbags. So there's that. At least. Yeah. A Lamborghini then? Right. Much more subtle. Okay, that's what it was. Lamborghini, much more subtle. Okay. Emulating that dry English wit. That's right, Man Called Blush. That's what it was. Lamborghini, and then Alfred, much more subtle. It's funny. All right, so here's the Roman who's in the hospital. Falcone's, she did a number on him. Catwoman with her claws. Enough for him to be in the hospital. And the nephew comes up, and he has one of those cauliflower ears, like the boxer ears, all jacked up. He goes, Gordon, Johnny. Once a man becomes a father, he's never truly free. Listen closely. Well, feeding time. My turn, honey. Well, easy now, getting it warm. It's nothing like it. Ring. Well, yes, Commissioner. Sir, Merkel's on duty. He can. Yes, sir. I'm on my way. I thought that was okay. No, I thought for sure. Okay. That is the commissioner's phone. Of course it is. And look at the fingers. He has all these little dots all over him just to show how corrupt he is and diseased. Probably drug scars and so on. Acne scars, drug scars. Because Gordon is leaving his apartment. Tell the Roman. I mean, it's unbelievable. They're all corrupt, all the scum. From the mayor to everyone there. It's just terrible. It's terrible. Um, and then here's Gordon, third-rate witness in a nickel and dime, open and shut domestic grievance, and Loeb knows I've only had 2 hours sleep. Maniac, same thing from issue 1. After Bruce Wayne is a similar angle, almost identical. When he was driving his Porsche one way and Gordon was driving the other way, he goes, "There's no way to treat a Porsche." He goes, "A maniac should arrest the." Wait a minute. He that motorcyclist is driving towards his home, and Commissioner Gordon just finally woke up and said, "Oh shit!" Heading into my building's garage, I don't recognize him. Suddenly, my stomach's cold as death, and I'm twisting the wheel again. Nickel and dime domestic getting me out of the apartment. Barbara, James, no sign of the motorcycle. Plenty of places to hide in here. Come on, come on. I'm ready for you. Where? They fucking took James. They took the baby. The nephew took the baby. Drop the gun, Lieutenant. Go to the office. Wait for our call. Jim, kidnapping his wife as well. If I let them go, they're dead. Again, guys, look at all this composition here. A great shot, silhouette of Bruce. The metal there, that is the way it has the texture. It's just fantastically done. And then this, the back of Gordon, the lights coming this way, the thick lines behind his head and ear and everything. And she's struggling there, and everything looks rock solid. If I let them go, they're dead. Can't go for a wound. Kablam, kablam. Blows their fucking heads off. Blam. Good, Barbara. Stay low. He gets shot in the shoulder. Blam. Caught one in the shoulder. Throws my aim off just for a second. Wasn't supposed to happen. Get out of here. He's crazy. Behind me, a motorcycle starts. Yeah, motorcycle starts to get the bad guys, but unfortunately, Gordon thinks he's part of the crew and shoots him. Get out of here, Barbara. Call a cop. There, I can still see them. James. Guys, just, think about that in your life, your family, your baby, in the hands of the scum of the earth. I mean, my God, that's some scary shit right there. Comic books and hoots, but Catwoman hasn't become a problem for Batman yet. Yeah. I love that callback plush. Yeah, it's great. It's great. In this world, who knows? I mean, in Miller's world, is Catwoman the villain that she was, or I don't know. He didn't go to make her a villain in this one. He didn't go and set the stage for a villain basically in this one. Yeah, comic books and hoots. Gordon is no pussy in year one. Absolutely not. He wants to kill those guys. Fuck it. I'm gonna blow their fucking heads off and get my wife and baby. There, I can still see them. James, don't. I'll kill you. Barbara says, Mrs. Gordon, you have to trust me. I won't let your boy die. Great shot. Great shadow. Great design work. Again, that overhead shadow makes everything else in pure black. Awesome. And he's on the move, and she's like, those words, I think, just stopped her cold. There's something about clearly his voice to her. She probably was like, I think he means what he's saying. He takes the guy's bike. It's also cool to show what an athletic type body that Wayne has, because they took a motorcycle and a car, and he gets there pretty much on time, just on a bike. Blam, pow. The driver hits the brakes too late, going too fast. The bridge shakes. I listen to the rending metal and chattering glass, and he thinks about his boy. Oh my God. Because he has to stop these guys and keep his boy safe. And how the fuck can he do that with, You can't guarantee that this boy will be safe if he does it, but you can guarantee that he'll be dead if they do take him. So he has to take the extreme and shoot him. He goes, I listen. The radiator hisses, spits water on the street. I don't hear a human sound. I don't hear my baby cry. His heart's battering through his fucking chest. Whoomp! He was covering the cries, the nephew. And there's Bruce jumping off the bike, going up top. Check it out, guys. They're struggling to the death. The metal rail digs into my back. He's heavy. Bruce is hopping over the bridge. And then, look at that. No! The baby drops. And Gordon screams, no! And Bruce clearly got up there and just jumped as far and as fast as he possibly can. Catch that baby. And Barbara runs. She hears, Wah. Gordon's like as delicate as he possibly can. That's right, good boy. Settle down now. You're safe. Great shot. Barbara's just overwhelmed with relief. He must be wearing some armor under that jacket. Bruce is like, yes. This is a full-faced Bruce there. I mean, there's no question that if Gordon hasn't been paying attention to the news of Bruce is now, he knows it's him. But he said something here. I'm practically blind without my glasses. Siren's coming. You better go. It's a nice little touch there by Miller. Very, very nice. Very, very subtle. Love it. And here we go. Flass being grilled by Dent. Turns out Flass is smarter than anybody knew. He took notes on every little talk he'd had with Commissioner Loeb. Dates, times, it was all there. 2 weeks and 5 days in jail, and he remembered where he kept the notes. Loeb's holding up pretty well under the strain. Judge Norton's on the case, so I don't think Dent has a chance of putting him behind bars. But word is Loeb's conferring with the mayor on the terms of his resignation. And something I mentioned here, guys, Dead All Born Again, it was an experiment from page 1 to the end. It was an experiment in styles and inking and this and that. And Mazzucchelli was really, really changing. He was stepping up his game. This one, you look at the first page to the last page of this entire story, it is of one piece. It is a single style. It is consistent. It's beautiful. It's awesome. That's exactly what it is. It's the same style throughout the entire series. And I love those outlines there. Those hand-drawn outlines. Beautiful color. Nice placement of blacks. Half shadow of Gordon. And Gordon continues, they've already got Grogan primed to replace him. Who's worse? I guess Grogan, as commissioner, some guy named Grogan. Who's even worse than Loeb. Geez. He goes, still things aren't so bad right now. The Roman's been at war with his sister ever since he tried to get a hired knife slid between his nephew's ribs. I had a few run-ins with his sister back in Chicago a few years ago. I don't envy the Roman. Nice. They were all too busy to stand in the way of my promotion to captain. Sarah's in New York doing well, I hear. It's interesting. I mean, I know they had Gotham and Metropolis. Do you guys know if New York was part of the DC universe from day one, or that just came years later, maybe after Crisis or something? I don't know, because I don't remember seeing that, but I remember seeing New York. I was like, huh, that's interesting. In the DC universe, there's a New York. Barbara's not crazy about the marriage counselor, but we're making progress. As for me, well, there's a real panic going on. Somebody's threatened to poison the Gotham Reservoir. Calls himself the Joker. I've got a friend coming who might be able to help. Should be here any minute. Awesome. So damn good. Hope, hope, guys. That is so damn good. With the kind of people that the cops can't normally necessarily take care of. I love that. Very much so. Give me 1 second. Okay. Great shot here also. And again, it's like if you want to, nitpick anything. That leg is a little wonky there, but it's still a damn good shot. Love the hands. I would have loved if he had a little more meat on that leg, a little more definition, but that's fine. Um, Afterwards by Dave Meskelly. Um, oh yeah, let me. It's just Comic Books and Cahoots says the dive off the bridge is as heroic as it gets. It's so damn good, and the silhouette's beautiful. Comic Books and Cahoots says, "What do you think of the '90s World's Finest drawn by Steve Rude? It is incredibly drawn. It's a good story by Dave Gibbons, and Steve Rude kicked ass on there. He went all out, and you know, maybe to some extent he was influenced a little by Kelly's version of Batman, a little, in the simplicity of it, but is the design work, the composition work is stunning, flat out, just stunning. His Superman's great, Lois and everyone in there. The Joker's great, Lex Luthor. It's a fun story too. They switch, Joker goes to Metropolis. Luther goes to Gotham, if I remember correctly. And then, of course, it all meets. Really good. It was really good. Yeah, one of those excellent specialty stories by Dave Gibbons, written and drawn by Steve Rude, who penciled and inked it. I believe, was it Steve Olive who colored it? I don't know, but the color was strong too, very very strong. It's a great piece of work, and I have it on my Comixology, so maybe we could look at that one day. And more than anything else, I think I'll look at it more than else, more than read it and stuff, because that's just it's a visual great piece. Um, I think it was influenced as well because you could tell it was a few years after this, and it was simplified. The ears, I think, for some reason I don't know why they do it. Some artists give Batman like a short chin. Steve Rude, I think, did that a little. Paul Pope gave him like a round head. It was very off looking. I know some guys might like it. I just couldn't get into Batman Year 100. I mean, I don't know what the fuck is going on, first of all. First 4 or 5 pages, he's huffing and puffing on the rooftops, dogs chasing him. It's like, yeah, he has a weird chin that doesn't go forward, it goes back. His head is tiny. On top, he has like no brain. And he has these stupid vampire teeth that he tries to scare get bad guys with. Not good at all. And I'm told it's great. Never bought into it. I couldn't do it. I don't like it. I don't like Paul Pope's version of Batman at all. I think it's a complete fail. But you guys tell me what we know. You tell me what you think, and if you like it, try to convince me because sure as hell didn't convince me just by looking at it. Just looking through it, I was like, "What the fuck?" Um, this is Mazzucchelli. It's great. It's the afterword. He drew this entire thing, made it look like the exact things from back in the day. It's so damn good. And then he says something really, I love it. The final line of his 4 page piece here says, "Superheroes are real when they're drawn in ink." I love that, and the context is here. This is interesting. Um, it's interesting here. I'm not gonna read the whole thing here, but ever since Stan Lee introduced anxiety into superheroes, no earlier since Harvey Kurtzman first trained a satiric eye on them in Mad, the question, what would superheroes be like in real life, has bedeviled succeeding generations of comics creators. Frank wrote The Dark Knight in a fortissimo, operatic mode, but he recognized that my strengths as an artist were more attuned to the quote unquote mundane. I don't buy that. I know what he means. A little more naturalistic. I wouldn't say mundane at all. That's not what comes to mind with Mazzucchelli at all. And here's Mazzucchelli here, guys, by the way, trying his best Dark Knight and trying his best Neil Adams here. Look at this, guys. I mean, this guy had a ball doing this 4 page story, drawing like all the old guys, Dick Sprang and stuff. I mean, look at this shit. It's fucking great. But he recognized that my strengths. So with year one, we sought to craft a credible Batman ground in a world we recognize. But did we go too far? Once a depiction veers toward realism, each new detail releases a torrent of questions that exposes the absurdity at the heart of the genre. It's very well put. The more realistic superheroes become, the less believable they are. It's a delicate balance, but this much I know. Superheroes are real when they're drawn in ink. I love that. And he's with the old school Batman with the purple gloves, the short ones. This is him 2005, 20 years ago. I love that little observation there. I love it. Oh, man, it's damn good. I got a few more things here. Okay. I showed some of this actually on one of my streams about early Mazzucchelli art. This is him, well, as a 6-year-old, I think. This one, it's funny. And then this is some pages that he sent to DC, try to get work. He did the same thing with Daredevil, and he eventually got Daredevil work. This is really good stuff, guy. Buy it. This is an amateur here, and it's just damn good. His Batman's good here. A little more conventional, but damn, it's good. And then that classic piece, which is the cover of the artist edition. And one of you guys noted here is true. The ears. I don't think it in the actual book. I think they're shorter and more straight. But damn, that's an effective look, because you wouldn't necessarily, guys sometimes flap it outside, which always looks weak and limp to me. But this looks like strong. And everything about this, the broad shoulders. He looks big here too. He looks bigger here than he does in the actual comic. He looks like a big guy. He goes, the promotional drawings for a DC House ad, this page, and a series of bumper stickers facing page. The coffee stains were added by an anonymous DC staffer. And again, guys, it adds to it. I know it's a fuck up by some punk editor, but god damn it. It's something about the way it looks, man. Look at that. It adds to this cover. It does, doesn't it? And again, you get to see the prior muscle indentations that he made, the line work that he made, the kneecap there, and then he whited them all out. He whited it out. And here even, like the little, parchment paper almost, the quality, and the eye wrapped around it. It's so damn good. And this cover, guys, there's nothing on it that says it's an artist edition. Usually, all the artist editions, they advertise it pretty loudly. Artist edition, this and that. Look at this. Nothing. It just says Mazzucchelli on there. The back is where you get that. Dave Mazzucchelli up on top. Dave Mazzucchelli's Batman Year One Artist edition. It's beautiful. A little angled here, crooked, but it works. It works. It's beautiful. I'm so glad they took such care with it. So glad about that. Here's some ads that Mazzucchelli drew. He drew just for an ad. Look at that shot. It's fantastic. A lot longer than he did in any of the Inside Story. But of course, McFarlane in Batman Year 2 took that to an extreme level, which was ludicrous. Where you can't get around with that cape. It'll be caught everywhere. Everyone would use it against him. But I want to get into this, just this, guys. Okay. He's strong, smart, and relentless. Shrewd and cunning. A powerful fighter. The best detective the world has ever seen. The very best. But at what price? Batman Year One, a special 4-part story by Frank Miller and Dave Mazzucchelli. It was interesting that it was released within the Batman comic book, not as a special series like Dark Knight Returns. It was released within the series. That was interesting, because it was a complete departure from everything that was happening prior to that. And also after that, it didn't have the immediate effect after it eventually did, Dark Knight Returns and Batman Year One, where a lot of artists either drew him like, try to draw their best Miller version or Mazzucchelli version later on. Like even Lee Weeks, when he draws Daredevil and Batman, it's clearly informed by Mazzucchelli, but it's all weeks in the end. Also, it's beautiful. It's great stuff, especially when he inks it. Especially when he inks it. Check this out, also, guys. You got a little more of this stuff here from these house ads. Let me just pull these up. Father, I'm afraid I may have to die tonight. It's a quote from the actual story. I'd rather die than wait. I have waited 18 years since that night, since all sense left my life, excuse me. You've eaten Gotham's wealth, its spirit. Your feast is nearly over. From this moment on, none of you are safe. How, Father? How do I do it? What do I use to make them afraid? And they expanded the cape there to get the font in there. It was nice to get the letters in there. Great ads. This is the early version, which I would have hated those ears. I can't stand the ones that go limp and to the side. I don't like them. And here's this is Mad Mazzucchelli talking here. My first rendering of a year one Batman. Above, used for a DC house ad. Note the bat-like ears. Sketches of Bruce Wayne after, photos of Gregor Peck below. And in the inside, it didn't necessarily come through that it was Gregor Peck as the model. It just didn't, which is fine by me. I think to lock it into a particular actor isn't great at times. Just make it your own. Maybe base it on that, because what I do is I base my characters on certain actors, but then eventually, by the time it gets to the finished art, it's informed by them to some extent, because sometimes you want something rock solid to work from, something that looks a little real, but eventually it'll take on a life of its own within the drawings. That's a great shot of Batman there. Very strong. Very strong. And a little more definition there, if you notice, as well, in the arms at least. Even the legs. Because, yeah, you would have thought, being Mazzucchelli, would have made at least, if he's not going to make the delineation of the muscles within the suit, at least maybe on the outside, because you got John Buscema, right? What's the thing that jumps out most with John Buscema when it comes to his anatomy? Not the striations, not the details of the muscle, it's the form. Look at his Conan, look at his Wolverine. It's the form, the shoulders coming in and out, and and the legs and the muscles. That's what really works with Buscema. He does a hell of a job doing that. It's so damn good. And even if it's in full, like a silhouette, you still see the musculature. You still see that this guy is built. You see all the calves and everything, the lats, the shoulders. It's so damn good. I think he's underrated, Buscema. I really do. No matter how much he's talked about, if he is at least, but I still think he's underrated. So these are the drawings, the roughs, and how good are they, guys? You got the script and the roughs right next to them. Look at that. That's fantastic drawings. More roughs, actual size. Okay, so these were actual size. Damn. Right now, what I've done for the current story I'm doing the most detailed roughs I've ever done, and larger than I've done also. And it's working out well for me, because then I'm going to transfer them with the Lightbox into these huge 14 by 21 pages, 14 by 21 inches, excuse me. And then the print book will be 8 by 14, so it'll be at least a few inches tall. Because usually, you get like 8 by 10, 8 by 11, the print papers, like for type paper, it'll be 3 inches taller than that. So it'll be nice and tall. And there's a reason for that. And I'll definitely discuss it at a certain point. But look at this drawing. It's fantastic. And nothing deviated, guys. This is the way it ended up. These roughs, there's nothing different here than what ended up. And that's been the case also with myself. My first book, I went 5, 6, 7 different iterations of the pages. I was unsure. I was an amateur. I was trying to figure it out. Now I'm at the point where more or less I get it pretty much right on. And then, of course, when it comes to trends, I'm like, you know what? I could do better now. I could do this. I could do that. But these are pretty much settled in. I mean, look at this. All the compositions there. Everything's there. Look at this. Everything we saw in this entire story is basically here. It's so damn good. Look at this. We just saw this. I'm trying to think. Are there any differences? No. Look at this, guys. Everything is as it ended up being. Man. Final ink artwork, actual size, facing page, and the same page in color from the newsprint version. Comics printed on the newspaper had an available palette of only about 60 colors, which Richmond utilized brilliantly. She did. She did a great job in the original coloring and in the recoloring as well, both. Look at this, man. There was a issue of someone, I don't know what it was. It was McFarlane swiping Miller Mazzucchelli off big time. It was ridiculous, actually. I don't know how the guys have any conscience doing that. It's like, what the fuck, guys? You're swiping a master. You think you won't be caught? It's ridiculous. Here are all the covers that he did. Very different from one to the other. From the overhead shot, the straight shots from the cops here. Look at that. Beautiful. These are the original colors in newsprint. You could tell here. Damn good. Yeah, look at that. So yeah, you got to see a little more definition also here when he's hit hard and he's struggling, he's moving. You can see more definition here than the old times. When Year One was originally published in a single volume, the entire story was recolored. Richmond hand painted the color art separately from the black art line art. Wow, look at that, guys. That's beautiful. Look at that. I guess they, found a way. This was the late '80s, so '87, I believe. So they must have figured out a way to do it at that point. That's really, really cool. Look at that. It's really, really good. You got all these different covers here. The Dust Jacket from the hardcover edition, published in March 1988. My original drawing for the cover design, actual size. This artwork was enlarged to produce the new cover image. My first cover design, right. I remember that one. Didn't like this one as much. It was far too experimental, far too sketchy, but it's still pretty cool. But it doesn't make exact sense, actually. That line wouldn't be that way. I mean, it just wouldn't. I know, some people are like, well, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's fine, but this is better right here. Was used for Warner Brothers paperback. The color artwork detail above was done with torn pieces of colored paper. Huh. Interesting. Another little drawing above for the cover. That's not bad. This cover, the new one he did was damn good. It was a little based on that as well, the one that we just saw, but it was really, really good. I missed Mazzucchelli as a teacher. I was going to the School of Visual Arts for a handful of years, just in night classes, really, whenever I could. And I heard that Mazzucchelli was teaching there in the school, the Rhode Island School of Design and the School of Visual Arts, and I could never find him. No matter what I did, I called the school. I went there. I tried to get a class with him, just to get one single class or find out a way just to be around him, in some capacity. Never happened. But I imagine his students are doing pretty damn well to get a master like that. And clearly what he taught in that school taught him a lot, because you look at Asterios Polyp and you say, wow, that's a whole different next level for him. He leveled up even more. It's pretty incredible. All right, guys. Let me go show that cover. That was a new cover made by Mazzucchelli for the last, I guess, big collection, which I love. It's very, very good. And it's rock solid also. Look at that. Everything's just drawn well, rough as hell. Dry brush, that's what it looks like to me. A nice little thing there. Excellent. All right, guys. I'm going to check out some of your comments, if there are any. And we'll go from there. And if you guys want a back Pigman, I would appreciate it. I'm at 248. If you guys get me a 250, that'll be awesome. And a 16,000. I'm chugging away, guys. That first day on the launch, I was able to do about 4,000 on my own. And then Ethan got me to 9,000 that night. And then I think 1,000 from the bowlers and I think John's channel, Kang's. And then I've been basically able to do about, 6,000, maybe 5,000 on my own for the last few weeks. So it's, it's chugging along. I want to do more. I want to get more backers. I want to figure this out and make sure we can get to part two healthily. To the point where I'm like, okay, there's clearly an audience for this, and we're going to do it. Okay. Man called Plush says my headcanon is that Gotham is New York and Bloodhaven is New Jersey. I don't know. I'm just curious. Do you guys know when it was established that there was a New York City and DC? Because I remember that at a certain point I was like, is there? Huh. And if that's the case, right? Who's the superhero in New York City in the DC universe? We have all these other cities, right? Who's the superhero in New York City? And if there isn't one, I'm sure DC's going to hire me to say, "Hey, Bosch, what do you think? What kind of superhero will be there? And we want you to do it." How about The Question? Huh? That's right up your alley, right? I'm like, yeah, you know what? All right, I'll do it. Is that going to happen, guys? But imagine that. I throw The Question into New York City, and see what happens there. That would be awesome. And make it the Ditko question, not the hippie mystical mullet that Denny O'Neil put in there, which was a hostile takeover of a character. Nasty, very nasty. JEC said, I like Paul Pope's art, but Batman 100 is kind of all over the place. I don't like it at all. It looks stupid, really. He looks dumb. No brain. He's like, meaning no head. The mask ends here. It's like, what the fuck? Ears are off on the side. No chin. No heroism in his, even in his stance. He was always like, creepy. Ugh. Comic books and coots. I like Paul Pope's Battling Boy. That was the one thing that looked better than the rest. And I've gotten some stuff, but I don't know. I just don't know. I know he invoked Rand once at a speech, or not a speech, at a panel he was on. I know he mentioned that once. It was pretty cool. Comic Books and Cahoots says the year one is like Batman by the way of the French Connection. I guess so, right? Interesting. The Man Called Plush says the coffee stains add to the parchment paper look. Yes, it does. The Man Called Plush says I love the Peck influence. Yeah, I mean that's where it started, at least. But if you didn't know that in the graphic, not in the final book, you wouldn't have known that, which is fine. But that's a good place to start. And then, of course, you make it your own. It's like Table for One, my first book. It's Will is based on James Dean, but you wouldn't know that necessarily. He has different hair, but also it's not that obvious. But it's a good place to start with a rock solid influence. Like there's a certain face that you're following. You won't get it, perfect every time, but it's like a base. Excuse me, guys. What the hell? So yeah, guys, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I guess it looks like I was able to stream on X, which is good because yesterday's wasn't even really that clear that it was being streamed on there. You had to look for it. Looks like there are 250 people views at least on X, which is good. Very little on YouTube, which is not good. I have 1,700 followers, subscribers at least. It's only like 14. I don't know. Is everyone else are they streaming or I don't know. I like to stream whenever I can. We'll see. Anyway, guys, if you're interested, if you haven't backed Pigman, consider backing it, guys. Let me say this though, in terms of Batman Year One, right, and Dark Knight, Rich Johnston. That piece of crap from Bleeding Cool, Bleeding cool. Um, he was trashing the concept of Pigman, just completely trashing it, and so he was ready to trash it when he reviewed it, and regretfully he was like, "Yeah, it's good." He was like, "Ah, shit." He was pissed off that he thought it was pretty good. That it's all there. The influences are all there from Miller to Kelly and so on. And he was showing some choice images there. And then, of course, when I went on the Daily Show, he wrote a whole bunch of shit and tried to, I guess, say it was a bad thing or mocked whatever. I thought it was great to be on Daily Show. I didn't give a shit that I knew it'll be a trap and all that. I was like, yeah, 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 sure. You do your thing, go and mock me. I'll go to promote Pigman, and it worked. And even the extent that they try to mock me, it didn't really work that much. If you guys saw my appearance, it was a King's show, and Ethan showed your boy Zach's appearance on Comedy Central and how bad it was. And unfortunately, Zach, your boy Zach, got a chance to go to Joe Rogan and didn't take it. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. I have no idea. And then he tried to get on again. And he said, "Nah, nah, you lost your moment when you're trying to get those things out there and your work. You don't lose that moment. You don't do that. You don't." But he did. He just said, "Nah." It's like, guys, we're in a small little place to begin with. If we can get any kind of exposure, we might as well take it. I was that the Freedom Fest wants me to be there for something, and I shot an email to Ethan. And I know Ethan's his situation with his wife and stuff, so he probably might not be able to go. But I had to give it a shot because I mentioned Comicsgate to the organizer and Ethan and others, and he says maybe we can put a panel about freedom and comics and so on. I said absolutely. I might just go alone now, but this worth doing because you're going to an audience, a liberty-minded audience. You're talking to them about freedom, creative freedom in the arts, and then that'll be videotaped, and you could throw it online, get more people. You always want to expand it. You never want to lose an opportunity to go out there. That's why, again, I was told, when the Daily Show contacted me, "Oh, don't do it." And no, I'm going to do it with no hesitation whatsoever. I want to do it. It's a good thing. I'm proud of my work. I want to, bring it out into the world. I want to. So whatever, again, their job is to mock me. That's fine, and my job is to promote in spite of that, and try to go around it and try to, yeah. It's like, yeah, sure, mock me. I'm promoting my work, and you're letting your audience know that I had a Muslim background, which is surprising that they would have put that. I gotta say, and they did it after the fact, by the way. They said Faustin was born to a Muslim family, so he, and you could almost hear the audience like, "Whoa, okay." He's not just some white guy, as I'm called, racist, hating browns. I still get that to this day. It's fucking embarrassing. It's embarrassing to, what race is Islam? No race, dummy. Not at all. Um, excuse me. Okay. Um, Comic Books and Cahoots says these streams are great. Keep grinding and it'll pay off. Thank you, Comic Books and Cahoots. I love doing this. I'm not following any algorithm, guys. I'm doing what I want to do, and I want to interact with you guys. I definitely do, and I appreciate every little comment you guys make. I appreciate it. You guys are engaged. That's important to me. And I have a small platform now, at least on YouTube. I got a growing platform on X. Is 26,400, and I just got a few hundred new followers also, and that's always good. But I've lost about 20,000 followers collectively across platforms, and now I've lost actually 30 something thousand because the 12,000 I have at Facebook inaccessible. I can't access them. I can't get in there. I want to get in there and I want to promote my campaign. It's like it's terrible timing. I try to sign in, I can't do it, no matter what. And then they tell me you need an access code or something. I'm like, what access code? What are you talking about? Where? I don't know. And they say you can get an app for that. If you guys know something about that, let me know, please. Um, SXS as rich as a worm, but at least he's honest from time to time. From time to time, you know, he said about the infidel. Yeah, it's an artistic achievement. What I mean? Because he went in there again looking to shit on it. It was like, actually, it's good. I gotta admit, it is good. It's not just some guy screaming into the wilderness. I hate Muslims. No, it's a guy who knows his stuff. Um, yeah, yeah, SXS, right, right. Uh, unfortunately, your clip on a Daily Show got struck and edited out of Kings. Did they strike Ethan? I hope not, man. Did they do that? I'm sorry, man. Ethan, I mean, I'd like to tell him, apologize if that's what happened. That's unfortunate. I hope he didn't get hurt. Um, I asked them for the actual clip a while after, and they gave me the disc, whatever. They gave me like a CD or something, a DVD, and I uploaded it onto my computer, and someone actually was able to help me with that. And so that's where I put it on X, and I've never get any problem on X when I do it. But it looks like I try to post it on my channel. They wouldn't let me do it. I hope he didn't get hit, Ethan. I hope not. Freedom Fest this year, I believe, is in Texas, San Antonio or somewhere. I don't know exactly, and I'm not even sure if they're going to follow up because they haven't followed up. You know, maybe they were interested, and then they heard, all the other stuff, and like, oh, wait a minute, you were attacked, you almost died, and death threats, thousands, and yeah, it's possible. I don't know. Someone who's followed me for a long time is now working for them, so he brought the organizer on some stream, and it was a pleasure to be there and pleasure to talk, and I'd be very excited to talk about it. I'm willing to go anywhere, guys, anywhere. I'll go in enemy territory. I don't give a shit. I want to go there and I want to promote my work, and I'll argue with them and I'll have fun. It's like when you're confident about your position, how the hell, why would you be afraid of going anywhere? Which is why it's unfortunate that, your boy Zach just chickened out when it came to Rogan. It's like, first of all, Rogan's not going to go after you. It's a relatively friendly place because he's so dumb. He's so open minded that he doesn't give a shit, Rogan. You get him on one show, he's talking about, yeah, Hamas, Israel is a Holocaust, and then the next show, well, it's like the guy is not there. He's a drugs have bombed out his brain. Let's just say he's not the smartest guy, but you can go there and discuss things without being attacked. You can say whatever you want, usually, and he would have brought more attention, more needed attention to Comicsgate. Your boy Zach. He could have told his story. It would have been interesting enough for Rogan to be. Clearly, they were interested enough to have him on, to even invite him on. He just didn't have whatever. I think Ethan suggested that he was nervous. He was something. I forgot what it was. Afraid. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I do appreciate you guys being here as always. Thank you very much. I'm gonna pitch my book, and guys, you want to give and take? Go for it, man. If you're not doing anything else, come on, let's just talk. Ask me questions. If you want to suggest other comics I might want to do, I think I want to do Fantastic Four versus X-Men by Chris Claremont, John Bogdanov, and Terry Austin. Something very different than this, and also something that's great, legitimately great. Something that Ethan also, I think that's the comic that really did it for him when he was a young guy, and it's so damn good. I got a hardcover. Um, I want to get the artist edition for that, man. That'll be something. I want to get the artist edition for Daredevil Men Without Fear, which I also want to do a review of. I got a whole handful of things we can do reviews. Again, the Spider-Man, the Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, big time. That run, the Roger Stern, Romita Jr., and then books like The Sculptor by Scott McCloud, which has its moments, which is really good. Ditko Unleashed. Got all those books about Ditko also. The World of Steve Ditko and so on. Love and Rockets is one hardcover I have. Jaime Hernandez mainly. His brother's not that He's okay, but Gilbert Hernandez a little too high. He's he puts in the work, the line work, the anatomy, everything. Um, got a lot of stuff here, guys. I got To Kill a Mockingbird graphic novel. It was really good, really good. I got the Darwin Cook, the Darwin Cook adaptations. Parker, it's awesome. Hello out there. Hello. Thanks, Beaner. SXS says, loving the comic streams. Thank you very much, man. Me too. Hoping you'll keep networking and have guests on for streams in the future. I would. I will. I don't know how to go about it, to be blunt, but I'll figure it out. I figured this out, guys. The fact that I can even share a screen is a miracle. It's like, it took me a while to figure it out. I was like, and no matter what I did, guys, I went to YouTube and all this. I found no one was simple and clear about sharing it and how to do it. I was like, is this insane? Nobody can explain this. Nobody. It's so bad. And then when I tried to share videos, it kept echoing, and then there's no sound on my end. You guys can hear the sound, but then I got hit, because of the music in there, which I paid for. So I don't know. Slowly but surely, I will be more than happy to have people on. I just got to figure it out, and I will, because at a certain point, when I grow this channel, when it gets thousands, I definitely want to have certain people on, fellow kings and stuff, and absolutely, up and comers and so on, people that I admire, that I like, that I think deserve a spotlight. Like a guy like Tonji Zonjic. He's a fantastic artist. I don't know what happened. It looked like something happened, maybe COVID. I don't know. I know he hasn't produced much. He's a hell of an artist. Goran Parlov, another great artist, um, who I think deserve a real spotlight outside of Comics 8. They did mainstream work, and I don't know where they are now. I don't know. I don't know. Both haven't done any work in a handful of years. We'll see. I would love to do that. Flady One says, "Sorry, I've been reading comics while listening. Great shows as always. Love how you cover the comics and provide our insight and commentary. I really appreciate that, Flady. Thank you, because it's you you're inspired by comics like I just reviewed to make comics, and then when you make comics, you learn stuff that you didn't never knew before, just by the act of making them, and then you naturally have some insight that hopefully you can share, and that's worthwhile. And then you're reminded of how great comics like this are, and it was great, when it was released, and it's great now, and it will always be great. Always, this is a timeless work of art here by both Miller and Mazzucchelli. A timeless work of art. It's beautiful. And I know people want to seem like they want to get away from it now. Like, yeah, that's old. No, guys, this is classic. This is classic. It's great. That's a joke. It's like, yeah, we got to get over that now. No. I mean, I wish there was more comics like this, but as everyone says, we recommend The Dark Knight. We recommend Daredevil, Born Again. We recommend Watchmen, Batman Year One, and then we're like, okay, in terms of mainstream stuff, then you're pretty limited. Then you say, oh well, the Spider-Man comics from Ditko and Lee, of course, they're great. The Kirby, yes, and others and so on. But in terms of the you know modern comics, the mainstream, very, very, very limited, guys. Very limited. And that's not good. That's not healthy for industry at all. The medium will survive regardless. I mean, there's always going to be people making comics regardless, even if they make money or not. A lot of independent artists, they make comics. I have to make comics. You know, and I've been told over the years, well, if it doesn't work out, what does that mean to me? I don't know. I don't know. You make it work. You figure a way, and it's not to pay the bills either. You do it because you love it. If you got to do some side work, you got to do some cartoons here and there. I did cartoons for Front Page Magazine for 14 years. Thousands of cartoons, literally thousands, and that's great. And it's also important work, and I believe in it. For the writer Daniel Greenfield, we agree we're simpatico with our ideas when it comes to the country and Islam and stuff, and that's something unexpected. You know, to pay the bills, to do this, and to do work that I'm proud of, that I want to collect one day in this art book about my political cartoons, something that most of you have never seen, and there's literally thousands of cartoons, and I could add a little, titles of the articles that I did it for, and so on. And even though I don't have access to some of them, because sometimes they go off the grid, it has a H, whatever, like a cannot find certain thing, but I'll try to remember what they were for. It'll be interesting to collect those as well, some kind of hardcover or something. Thousands of cartoons, but yeah, guys, it's something that is you. I think those who make comics, if you're not compelled to do it, if you're not compelled to do it for free, to go hungry, then it's not for you. It's not for you. You want to make a killing? It's not for you either. You do great work. You do great work. You will make a killing. You do great work. Eventually, you will. If it's legitimately great, undeniably great, of course. But the point is, you got to love it. That's why these people coming in late into the game. You got a guy like Eric July coming in his mid-30s. Where were you before that? What was going on? What did your love of comics do for you? Did it propel you to make it when you were younger? No, it didn't at all. Were you going to school for writing? No, he didn't. If I ever catch him live, I'd like to send a super chat and just say, who are your favorite writers and what books on writing do you recommend? It's, it shouldn't be a joke question, but it is, because he'll stumble over that. You know that because he didn't study. And if he did, I'm sorry, I don't know who the hell he did. But a guy like that needed a guy like Robert McKee story. Robert McKee works for the talented or the untalented in this sense. If you're talented, he just makes sure that you keep your story on track, and you take his course and you're listening to all the abstractions, and they make sense to you because you have the concretes of your story to make sense to it. Everything he's saying gets funneled in through your particular story concretely. All the abstractions, he's talking about story in general, the inciting incident, the main character, this, that, how's he put it? The drama, the positive, negative acts, the positive, negative. There was a word he used for that. Anyway, I got his, book story. I read it, reread it, took his course, everything, and then I took, I just wrote every morning, anything and everything, whatever I could, that no one will ever see. It was just for me. And it's not even that it's bad. I'm not embarrassed by it. No, it's just that something that it was just a practices. You got to get into the habit of doing it, because you got to realize, I got to communicate with the reader's mind. I have to penetrate it on an emotional level also. And it's important to study, to bust your ass to the point where even overdoing it, that's fine. It's worth overdoing because you're trying to communicate in story with readers. It's really, really important, man. So thanks, man. Appreciate it. SXS, they just gave him a warning. I think EBS had to take it down and edit out the Dilly Show segment. I think his channel is fine. Okay, good. Good, because I wouldn't want to be responsible for that. That would suck. JEC says, Viacom owns Comedy Central. They are brutal with copyright. Oh, okay. Yeah. Comic Books and Coo says, Richard had anxiety. Yeah. We all do to some extent, don't we? You cut right through it, though, to get to the point. It's like Comicsgate can use that good attention. It doesn't matter if you don't, oh shit, I'm feeling, yeah, feel it and go through it anyway. It's like you feel the fear and act anyway. Whether it's on a date with someone you like or whatever, whatever butterflies, whatever, you go through it. That's it. You go to do a speech. My first speech, 2011. I'm up there and I'm nervous. I'm like, yeah, and you keep going. The first words I said, my name is Bosch and I'm a recovered Muslim, and they got a kick out of that. It's funny and true. And it's like the AA meeting, And from there, it went really well. And they were shocked it was my first talk. But when you know what you're talking about, you know what you're talking about, and you can communicate it.
and people seem interested. They know that they're listening to someone who knows their stuff. That's the first thing you have to do. But yeah, nervous or not, you got to get going, And also, it'll be good for his own work, for your boy Zach's work. I mean, if he gets on Rogan and speaks well about the movement, about Comicsgate, about his own work, and about the industry that's destroying, heroes, more attention to his work. That's a good thing. But you know, Flated One says you got to review the comics you love. Your energy really fuels the coverage. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm passionate about these stories. I absolutely love them. Without them, I wouldn't be a cartoonist. Without Miller doing, Daredevil, Born Again, Dark Knight, Batman Year One, and his original run, I wouldn't be a cartoonist. Miller probably had more influence on me in terms of being a full cartoonist than even Toth. Toth to me is the greatest comic book artist of all time. Miller's the best writer, and to me, that's the key, the writing part. Um, However great Toth was, he never drew a story like Dark Knight Returns, like Batman Year One, like Daredevil Born Again. He never did that. You know, I wish he got the opportunity, but he didn't do it. So he's limited in that sense. Whereas Mazzucchelli got a chance to draw Daredevil Born Again and Batman Year One, two monster, comics, just monsters. A 1-2 punch. I mean, I don't know of any artists who had an opportunity like that, back to back within that same year. They were 6 months apart. It's incredible. Um, Incredible. But yeah, Miller's passion came through his work. It inspired clearly a lot of people because it inspired me to become a full cartoonist, meaning writer and artist, and not to separate it. Meaning, I'm a writer and I'm a cartoonist. That to me, it's like basketball, right? Two-way players. That should be a goddamn basketball player. You should be great on defense and offense. There are such exceptions. It's so embarrassing. Like, he's just an offensive player. He's just a defense player. That's stupid. Michael Jordan was one of the greatest defenders of all time, greatest defenders of all time. And then, of course, he, averaged 37 points that one year, and he was a defense player of the year. That's the perfect basketball player, as passionate on the defense as he is on offense. You know, and that's the greatest cartoonist also. Writing and drawing and making it seamless and not overdoing on one and less so on the other and so on. Um, it's one piece, and the interview book with Eisner and Miller, they talk about that it's one medium. It's not separated, even though you got 5 or 6 or 7 guys sometimes doing one comic. There's something about that, single vision. There's something about that. And again, of course, I can work with a great writer like Miller and Mazzucchelli, yes. And I'm not saying, but you get like the Dark Knight Returns. To me, that's Miller's strongest work because he wrote it and drew it. That's his vision completely, and it works. It works beautifully. That's his strongest, I think, overall work. But his strongest writing to me was Daredevil Born Again. Daredevil Born Again. I mean, it's his strongest writing. Um, SXS says, I've been reading Peter David's Hulk run recently. He's pretty good so far, but going from Tom McFarlane to Jeff Purves is brutal. It is, man. And you know what? Jeff Purves also had the big boon of getting Terry Austin ink him. It's like, what the hell, man? I would love to have seen Todd inked by Terry Austin. Why'd you wait for that? It's like, what the hell? I think because Purves needed it. He needed Terry Austin to be, to ink him, whereas McFarlane didn't. But it would have been great to have seen at least one issue inked by, because I love McFarlane's Hulk. I think he did a great job on the Hulk. However, bloated and stuff, it owed to the original, Kirby, and then exaggerated completely. But his first issue or two, you could tell, was a brilliant homage to a Kirby. And then he made the forehead a lot bigger, and the nose real short, long upper lip like an ape, with the big balloon body. But it was very effective, and the writing was good. It was a good run. I wouldn't mind doing that, guys. I think they collected that most. I think he did like a year and a half on that, I believe, and he inked maybe half of those. Um, his first shot at inking was way too brittle and thin, but then he got a little more hang of it and a little more balance of black and white. That first issue was all, if there was no color, you wouldn't know what the hell was going on. It was a snowstorm with one of the beasts, I think, and the Hulk, and it was just complete chicken scratch inks. But then later on, you could tell you got a little more balance. And then when you got Spider Man, I had to check out. I couldn't stand his Spider Man. I just couldn't. I know John and Shanth and others love it, but oof. And Shanth's his spring ball to me is 10 times better than McFarlane's Spider Man, because Spider Man he made it with a big ass with the stupid webs. Um, the feet that Shanth drew on a spring ball looks like the McFarlane's feet, but the anatomy's better. He doesn't have the big ass. There's something about it. It's interesting, man. I'm looking forward to that. We'll see. Um, JEC said, love the Parker books. Every time I see the 4 books on my shelf, I get sad because they were supposed to be 7. Yes, there were. God damn it. He was also supposed to do Revengeance. I think it was called Revengeance. I believe that's what it was called. And fuck. In his 50s. Just, I didn't hear much about it. I think I just heard. I think the word wasn't out. I don't think it was. I think he just died. And then he found out that he was sick for a bit. Terrible. Fleet One says, I'm planning on hitting my local comic shop tomorrow. Love shopping to see what I can find, old or new. I do it myself every so often. I go there, and sometimes I walk out with nothing, and sometimes I walk out with a gem. And it does happen. It still happens. You still see something like, holy shit. I had no idea about that existed. It's awesome. And usually it's new material. It's not just an omnibus that come out. It's worth looking at every crack, though, guys. Every shelf, everything that they have. You're bound to find something. But again, sometimes I go and there's nothing, zero. It's unfortunate. And I have all the good stuff too, though. So there's that as well. And what I do is I just reread. I'm always rereading the old stuff because it's just guaranteed to be great. And you'll bring more to it. Having wised up over the years, you bring more to it. More of your own insights and then your own experience drawing comics. Like, wow, and you see his masters at it. It's like it's crazy, crazy good. Comic Books and Hoot says, "What do you think of P. Greg Russell work?" I like his work. It's very well done, very well drawn, very well inked. I had a little, correspondence with him over something a number of years ago. It was having to do with Rand's work. Um, he had some interest in maybe adapting something. He's great in adapting them. He inked Ditko years ago. He inked John Romita Jr. on an X-Men issue. A very nice ink line. Um, a little like Terry Austin, but his own. And he was also a very good artist. Very good. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna make my pitch. Pigman number 1. The Islamic background of twins comes to the forefront of their lives on 9/11, which is echoed by the comic book within Pigman vs. Superchild. That's my short take. I have 248 backers, guys. $15,935. I'm very pleased with it, but I do want more. I'm not greedy. I just want more because I want to really get into issue 2. I want to know that you guys really want it. And I do think this, though. I will say this, guys. I am confident enough in the quality of the comic that once those who backed it read it, I think will really want to read issue 2. I think so. I've got nothing but good stuff, good responses to it, and people always wanting, because I get a number of cliffhangers in my stories, and issue 2 will have issue 3. Issue 3 will have, huh, interesting. Okay. Issue 2 will have a major cliffhanger to be, and then issue 3 will have all new material at that point. All new material, and it's interesting this opportunity to come back to it and revisit it, and also bring some new stuff into it with Killian and what he goes through. And it's funny because I had Killian go on television in issue 1, that I went on television after, about that same year. So I've been following Killian. He's been doing stuff, and I've been following him. And now, but he's gonna follow me on some stuff actually in issue 3. He does certain things that I went through, and it's a little biographical, a little, not too much, because if people ask, do you have a twin? I said no, I don't. But it was important for me to, I think, show that Islam is an ideology, it's a religion, it's not a race. Anyone can be Muslim, anyone can be born to Muslim, anyone can convert to Islam. So if that can happen, you know, it doesn't matter. So yeah, guys, here's my comic book. I got 5 covers. As I say, this is a different kind of war comic: culture war, political war, sorry, the philosophical war, media war, brothers at war, and a war on the battlefield. Recovered Muslims versus born again Muslims. It's uh, it's pretty rich. And it's funny also. I think so. And any of you who read it out there, I think you might agree. I think some parts are funny. It's serious, it's dramatic, and all of that for sure. Violent, absolutely, and funny. And it's gets into the truth about what we're facing with Islam and its jihadists in a direct, informed way. I killed myself to study this stuff to the point where it bored me out of my mind to reread the Quran, read it and reread it. And there are parts in my Quran that I'm putting Z's across the page. I'm like, "Zzz." I literally fell asleep. So repetitive, so hostile to the reader, to you. It's like, damn, guys. It's like you're not appealing at all to potential converts at all. Here's Killian Duke. He sees that these guys have set up base here to give away free Qurans. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" They get into a street fight, and this ends up to court as well, where they try to basically, you know, get every penny he has to try to stop him, underhanded way, the way leftists do, to basically try to cancel him is what they're trying to do from doing Pigman comics. And then so he fights his own battles on the street. His brother, ideological battles at comic book conventions and panels with leftists and others, Muslims and Catholics, and argue about post 9/11 what we should do in comics and so on. And then you got the battlefield, on the ground in Islamic hellholes where Pigman goes. You have these arguments with him and his brother. Yeah, Pigman left at a cliffhanger, literally on the cliff. They're screaming Allahu Akbar. He's like, ah, shit. Turns around, jumps off the cliff, and they follow him. They're not following. He's trying to survive, and they're trying to kill. And that's it. And here they are. And some of them have little second thoughts, guys. Little second thoughts there. They're like, ah, shit. I believe, but and he's just trying to survive here, and he needs a plan B after this, after he gets bombed out. And it's pretty funny because they're blowing themselves up, trying to blow him up, and they're blowing each other up and themselves by accident. I think it's fun. They kill themselves trying to kill him. And here's what happens here. He goes, next step, flying, because he's like, battered and bruised. He's like, oof, pretty beat up. And I got all these. I got 5 different covers, guys. I have index card drawings, original drawings. You can get all 5 covers, digital copies, Pigman symbol on a t-shirt, war paint cover, and now also as a poster, as a print. You can get everything in one, besides the expensive ones. You can get Table for One. You can get the sketch covers. What they are is blank pages with the title, and then I draw on the actual cover an original drawing of Pigman, Killian. They're sketches, a little more detailed than that sketches. I would say pencil and ink. original art pages from Pigman, and then also commissions as well. So thanks for um, allowing me to pitch it to you guys. I'm always I'm proud of my book. I am, and I want it to do really well, and I want to jump into issue two strong. I want to have a strong jump into it. So I will try to keep going, keep plugging away for the next few months, and then it does as well as it can, and then close it, fulfill it, and then launch issue two. But again, I really want to have a nice win behind my back to push it, and then push it to issue 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and get it wrapped up in pigskin leather in the end. Um, SXS says, looks cool, Bosch. How long do you plan to keep the campaign open for? A few months. SXS, a few months. I intend to fulfill it at the end of July. So a few months is my first campaign, so I don't want to have it capped, 1 month or 2 months. Let me just write it out. Let me keep promoting it. Let me keep grinding. Let me keep pushing as I do my shows here, reviews. I always want to pitch it, though. I never want to lose sight of the fact that I have a campaign. It's a live campaign, something that I'm very proud of, that I'm happy, about, and I want to get out there. It'll be in a superior form. I will say that it'll be remastered. So I'm looking through it. I'm seeing where I can improve it, and hopefully those who read the old ones will see that clearly. Those who won't, they'll just see something that's good to read, that they'll enjoy. But yeah, so it'll be a few more months, guys. I just want to give myself a real chance to, it could be a tough sell to some extent. I think takes on Islam and jihad. It's a real world threat, and no one wants touch in a lot of ways. And I mean, no one wants touch. But the hell, we got to take these bastards out. And if we can do it culturally first, our intellectuals, our people in power, then we can take them out in the end. But you have to make a crack into it culturally. You have to make a dent. Churchill said something. It's maybe apocryphal, but he said something along the lines of that a certain movie, Miss Minerva, did more for the war effort than a whole battalion of tanks and soldiers and stuff. His point was, if it was even said, was that you have to get into the minds of the people, let them appreciate the danger we're in and who we're facing. And it's important for them to recognize that on an emotional level, intellectual level for sure, but an emotional level as well, a personal level, a personal investment to see this enemy get it. It's important. So I think in the end, if there's a movie about Muhammad that's honest, that takes him on, exposes him for the warlord that he is, and so on, and even worse, to me, it's inevitable that jihad will be taken out at that point. We just got to get to that point. I'm trying to normalize all these things. I mean, I got this. Let me show you. I just put in my print order for my flip book. My Muhammad is my first flip book, 70 pages, 4x4, and I designed it to be 2x4 by 2.5, 2.5 inches by 4, and my printer said they can only do 4x4. And I was like, okay, so there's a black spot on top, black spot on bottom, like an old movie, the wide ones with the big black on top and bottom. If you guys are interested, it's something unique as hell. My print order is in. I have to get it to me pretty soon, hopefully next week. And 70 pages. It's Muhammad and a special guest, as you can see, and it's fun, and it's painstaking to make sure each page looks like it goes right into the next one, and so on and so on and so on, in incremental ways. It was fun to design, and that's something that's again, I do want, definitely I want to move this as well, but I want you guys to order it flat out to have something that's completely unique. There's nothing else like this out there, and I mean that, nothing. It's one of a kind. So order it, guys. If you want to support work that takes on this enemy in an interesting way, entertaining way, I would appreciate your support. So thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate you guys being here, interacting. Always appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. I'm going to get going. And please back Pigman. I would really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Hey, John. I'm going to check out now, John. Yeah, I've been here for, you know what? I don't even know how long I've been here. For the first time ever, I have this, I'm blindsided here where I don't even know, I didn't even know if I was live. There's no red thing here that says I'm live. It's very strange. Very strange. I don't get it. But I'm going to have to knock out my entire thing here on the side. But thanks, Beaner, everyone. Until next time, be well. Take care.